Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a good day. I'm in the midst of planning a kitchen redesign, and I want you to follow along, see if you have any comments, see if you change anything. This video is basically the design. I'm trying to talk myself into it and or changes. What we got now is a small table. This is another one we've tried. I've had a larger one in here. It gets a little crowded, so we place 3 or 4 chairs when needed, and then we have a little bar that has 2 stools that I find are really uncomfortable. It's a small bar top, but it works, and it's higher than your countertop. This is the second stove that's been in here, at least. I think the third now. This had a Gen Air originally with a downdraft. Goes down under the floor and vents outside. It was big and pricey to get one. I said I'm not going to go with that. The second stove that was in here, actually when I purchased the home, was not a Gen Air, and there was no venting at all. And so when you cook, steam, whatever goes up. That's another thing right here. We got like a textured, it's not really a popcorn, but it's a textured, it looks like a roll-on, I guess, ceiling. I hate it. There used to be 2 lights, long ones. They were wood oak, and they were fluorescent. They were flickering. You couldn't see much. So I put these up a couple years ago, and I like them. They're super bright. Hey, we've got the squirrel here helping, aren't we? What are you doing? Huh? And what I want to do here is come up with a new plan. I don't like that when I'm making spaghetti or something, all that steam rises. After a bit, the windows will fog. There's nowhere to vent it. Like I said, the piping is still there. I did go to a garage sale. I love garage sales. There's nothing wrong with a used item. I purchased a smooth top stove with a charcoal accessory cook. That's also electric. And it has a Gen Air fan on it. I was going to put that in the bar, and I decided not to. I said I wanted something that's convection, and this one is Samsung. I'm starting to like the Samsung's pretty good. This will go onto my phone, tell me when it's hot, whatever. People like that. What I don't like, with it fully adjusted down, the stove glass is higher than the countertop. Not that big a deal. I could either take all 4 legs off, lower it down, shim as necessary, or unhook the cabinets and raise them up. What I don't like is that when you open your stove up, you open your dishwasher, which I'm not going to do because I'm actually doing some dishes, the doors touch each other. It's about 3 feet between here, which is okay. I believe that passes code okay. But to me, it's a little tight. I'd like to move the cabinets that way. I marked the floor. I would like to have the cabinet move about a foot and back, and I'd like the countertop to overhang. And I'd like to get at least 1 more chair here on this end. And then I'd like to take the countertop and extend it farther this way, because when the chairs are in all the way, they hit the wall prior to your countertop. So these tend to be way back here, and then it takes up more space and you got to push them in, whatever. I would like a deeper countertop. The second thing is, I don't like sitting in stools. I prefer a chair like the kitty does. And I'm thinking I'd like the countertop flush all the way across. Well, because we have no vent, I was considering putting in one of them tall vents. I was considering building another soffit, putting up a couple more cabinets. I don't really want to lose lighting. So I don't really like the cabinets overhead in the island. I think I just want a flat top island. You can make cookies, food prep. Maybe put a couple outlets in the end that I don't believe pass code anymore, which doesn't make sense. They said people trip over them and unhook stuff. I find that I'm pulling an extension cord from here across. You're going to trip and pull everything off. I won't put them in the island where it makes sense because all these appliance cords are so short. This is going to be long-winded. Sorry about that, but the laundry room is right there, which is fine. I'd like to upgrade a little bit in there also. Probably not in this plan. The refrigerator, obviously, they're larger these days. They come way out from the counter. This one's like a 36. And so now we're down to, I don't know if that was 28 inches here. It's too tight. So moving the cabinet that way is going to free up the hallway here. You can see by the floor tile, 1, 2, we're tight here. You open the refrigerator door, you can't fit between here. So that's got to go that way. The stove, I came up with this idea. Tell me what you think of that. We have it at patio door. This was a 5-foot door. Most of them are 6. This house had, well, it has still 3 more 5-foots plus this. We got 4 total in the house. One of the doors need replacing. So I thought, take this door out, put it upstairs where I need it. It's off my bedroom onto the deck. And then take and put a 15 light, so it'll still be a lot of glass, and put a 36-inch door here. I like to watch the birds. You see them out there now. And summertime when we take out food to the grill, things like that, that opening on a 5-foot door is only like 22 inches. So you gotta be careful banging your fingers if you're holding a tray. A 36-inch door will give me a little more room. Then if I take this cabinet out and place it into the bar, take the cookie sheet pan cabinet, I call it, put it right here where the door ends. You see where I marked it? It would go right here. It's a 12-inch cabinet. Or you can see it on the window there. Then I start my stove, and the stove stops approximately here. It gives me roughly, because it's tape, it's not marked yet, 4 to 6 inch room that I could do a spice cabinet. I could do a filler block, whatever, It could be a cookie sheet pan. You just throw them in vertically, something. We could take this upper cabinet. These are wood mode, but they're 80s. They're oak. As you can see back here, we got a whole bank of oak cabinets. I love them. They probably are considered dated now. To me, oak is wood. I love wood. I don't like today's particle board cabinet. I still want a solid wood front cabinet. This cabinet won't work because the stove will come in somewhere here. So what I was thinking is one of 2 things. Taking this cabinet, cutting it right here at the end of the stile, taking an end cap, moving it over, closing off, having a single door cabinet. Coming up to this mark, doing an upper cabinet, then purchase a Samsung microwave over the stove with a hood and lights. I think that would do well. We could move the stove over here. We'd have a vent under the stove. The stove and the dishwasher will not clash with each other. Then this is a wastebasket on this side. I like that, but I might want that behind the sink. And then the food prep area, you throw your papers out, that kind of stuff over there. Works good here, but if the stove is gone, and I'm going to take that cabinet, we could put this over there. Now we're down about a 30-inch cabinet. So we either use this cabinet over here and then add another cabinet, buy a cabinet, whatever we decide. So 2 outlets, one on either end of the countertop. A whole bar moved over and back 1 height, countertop height. Chairs sitting, at least 3 more. 3 would be good. And then I'd like new countertops. These are dated, somebody made them. They're okay. Hershey chocolate. There's a couple chips in the front. There's one down there. other than that, you know, they work. They're dated. I'd like to do granite. Not sure I can afford that right now. We'll decide. I thought of if I do a separate bar top, I could make a like a butcher block style. As long as it's got a good finish on it, that would work out good. So nobody cuts with knives. If we put the microwave over here, that one will go away. That's a convection microwave. I had it for years. So I'd like 20. It works great at Old Kenmore. Awesome. And the next thing is the appliances, the small ones. I don't like them cluttered on the bar, you know, the countertops. I'm thought of maybe doing a garage where they slide in. I'm not sure. Not that important yet. We have a recessed light that was here. Had a little tiny bulb. I couldn't see anything. I've put a new bulb in. I want to do some recessed lights. So I'd like one to shine here, maybe one way over here, and then one there, one out here, one over here. And then that'll be recessed, not hanging down. That'll be nice and bright. That'll look good. Over this island, I'd like to do hanging pendants. I think that would look pretty slick. Maybe Edison bulbs or something similar to what I did over here in, I gotta find it here, up here. It's got like an Edison bulb in it. That's pretty cool. And then, like I said, this ceiling's got to go. I might put up new drywall, shiplap, tongue and groove. I'm not sure yet. If we take that door out, I have to frame it in, insulate, sheathing, you know, vapor barrier, house wrap, and then tongue and groove siding. Everything's got to blend in. It's going to be a little bit of work. Might be worth it. So that's what I'm considering. This valance curtain thing's got to go. The soffit will have to be extended. We'll have to take down the border, steam that off of there. Am I forgetting anything, guys? The dishwasher, I'm upgrading it. It works. That's a GE. It works good. It's an older one. Stainless interior too. Works good. I'm upgrading it to a little quieter one a little more efficient. The sink, I like the sink. I don't know, with a little breadboard over here, you drain. The faucet, Dawson and I struggled putting that in. They're actually taking out the old one years ago. This one, putting it in was easy, but it was all rusted under there. You know how they do that. And took us forever to get that off of there. That works great. I might just keep everything the way it is. And then the backsplash I discussed. I think I want to do like a stone or a tile. We thought of painting the cabinets. A lot of them are doing gray, but now I think the white and also like a almond colored. I think they call it beige. I don't know if I want to cover the wood. I think I just want to copy the wood right now because the trim in the house is all this beveled pine. I don't know, it's custom, I would imagine. And that's what we saved when we tried to do the windows. I didn't want to tear all that apart and butcher it up and change things. I'd like it to match every room, you know. I know this is long-winded, but I got to get this in. I got to get a couple ideas from people. I've done some little bit of research on what I want to do. And, you know, I want to make it neutral. I want to make it so anybody likes it. I don't want to customize this to my liking. I definitely want to make sure the outlets are the same height. I think that switch is a different height. I don't know why. And that switch is a different height. I don't know why. But if we're going to open this up and put under cabinet lighting, I don't know if I mentioned that. I want to put some LED lights under the cabinets. And then I think that's all GFI right now, outlets. anything within 6 feet of the sink. But I think we're going to have to add one more. And then there's a switch over there, a switch over here, and where else? That's it. There needs to be, that switch controls an outside light, that switch controls a kitchen light, or over the sink light, and that switch controls another outside light. I'd like to get rid of them two, put one switch for outside, like you should, the next switch being a 4-way switch to turn on the kitchen lights coming in. Because right now they never did that, and I don't know why. Maybe code was different in 83. But today you got to have one near every door. The flooring, I do want to do either a tile or hardwood or vinyl plank. I'm not sure on the vinyl because vinyl, is not I don't foresee it a long-lived floor. This one has been in here for, at least 15 years. It's showing its age. You can see got some peeling going on. Overall, it shines up nice if I take my shoes off and don't track it up. These bank of cupboards, they work great. Food pantry, all this kind of thing. The future down the road is I want to replace that door. I want to take out this double closet. This is a half bath. I'd like to make it a full bath. That closet go away. This one becomes a coat closet because that's a taller one without shelves in there. These all have shelves in. And so there's plenty of storage here, all the way around. It's working good now, but I do want to upgrade it. The stove, I kind of jumped around, but the stove that was here, remember they used to have a back on them and your controls were here. That's a standard. So they put this thing in. Isn't that nice? Pretty little board leans. And I personally don't like to sit here when somebody's making spaghetti and the steam's in your face. And then a younger child, you don't want them near your stove, red hot, and nah. So I thought the stove over there would be safer, cleaner. Yes, a little farther to walk. Usually you want your triangle. But like I said, venting is important. And when this got changed out from a Gen Air, venting through the bottom of the floor, you lost your vent. I got to do something for smoke and steam. And so the microwave would cure the counter space, lighting onto the stove, and vent. And I believe there's two styles. I could vent it right outdoors. I could do the under cabinet vent. I probably should vent it right outdoors because that way if I get a little carried away and burn some cookies or something, I can just crank it on and get the smoke out of here versus recirculating through a filter thing, So that's the scope of it. And I know I gotta have to get a drink here soon doing so much talking. So I went through and I wrote down dimensions, the cabinet sizes, what we have now, what I want to do. I've got my proposed what I want to do. Here's the microwave, the cabinet above, a cabinet to the right, our new door. And like I said, by buying the door, we're repurposing this door. So this one's not that old. We can just repurpose it. And then, so our stove would go in here. Then maybe a spice cabinet would be kind of nice. And that 12-inch cabinet moving from the bar now over to there. Looking down onto the bar. I've taken the wastebasket, which is on this side, put it on this side, closer to the sink, and there's another counter here. We would need another cabinet. I think I put 36. We could probably do a 30 or a 36. And then I thought if we could do chairs, but I don't think there's room for 2 chairs on this end. There will be 2, but I think these 2 would have to slide down. This is not to scale on graph paper or nothing. So it'll probably end up being 3 chairs. And here's my want list. Move the stove. Oh, the kitty sees a bird out there. So you feed the birds and the kitties go after the birds. I put some cereal and some different things, just some chickadees. And we've had a woodpecker out there. Haven't seen any blue jays lately. But anyways, we want to move the stove to the outside wall to eliminate the oven door and dishwasher door jambs. And then the vent. Under cabinet countertop lighting, recess lighting, remove the 2 overhead lights. These are super bright. I love them. They're not attractive, so they can come out. I can put them in an office or something. And then over the bar drop lighting, the pendants would be nice. The 4-way switch at the back door. There's no sense of remodeling, put in backsplash, all that, and find out that you still have no switch there. So I want to bring that up to code. And we'll be able to turn the light on coming in. And then the outlets in the bar for a mixer or something, blending, you're making cookies, whatever, One thing I didn't mention was possibly a wine cabinet. I like wine. I don't drink a lot of it. I like looking at the bottles of wine. We have a second kitchen in the basement, and it's got a wine caddy. They look pretty cool in there. I have a wine cooler. So I might think of doing something like that in the bar. That would be a good spot for that. And I could actually just set the bottles of wine in there for an additional cooler. Or you got friends over having a get together. We can put in, a few beers. We could put in there, whatever kind of drinks I got. We can have additional, refrigerator. Let's see, outlets in the bar for the microwave hood, save countertop space, additional outlets on the countertop, because this is like I would normally do it. There's one there, one behind the microwave, there's one there, and one there. We'd have to put in a dedicated one for the microwave. Can't have it on the same circuit. And right now, once in a while we have an issue. If I have, let's see, what do I have? I have the toaster. Like if I'm making breakfast and I turn on the microwave, once in a while the breaker will trip. It's a 15 amp circuit, and that's a little too much for it. So you want your microwave and your refrigerator on separate circuits as your countertop. And let's see here. I think the dishwasher's on its own. So we would do a separate complete circuit for the microwave. And then I like the outlets right over top of whatever cabinet you're working at. And so if the stove goes there, that outlet might have to be moved a little bit to the left. And then that switch goes away. That switch over there goes away. And they'd have to come over here. And one more little outlet at the end, because anywhere you got a cabinet, you got to have an outlet. So there'd have to be an outlet and switches. So they'd be in a gang box there. And let's see here. Switches moved. Cut, remove, replace existing cabinets. We discussed that, where I put my blue tape. And I do the visual, and then I do my walk-in and see if I still have floor room. So count the tiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to have 5 feet between this cabinet and the chairs, so that won't get too crowded. We'll have 4 feet down the aisle that way. We'll end up with 4 feet running this way, and then we'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4.5 foot this way. That goes into the dining room, and so we can't do anything over there. That stays the same. Move the stove to the right of the dishwasher. Yep. Do a cookie sheet cabinet, whatever, a spice cabinet. Or like I said, just a filler over there. New granite or quartz countertops. Build or buy new oak cabinets as needed. And make the doors. I want them to copy. A lot of times, like all the cabinets on the outside wall should be the same. They should blend in. When you come to like an island, that doesn't have to be the same. It can be totally different. It can be a totally different color. That could be your color in the room. So say I had wood cabinets, maybe I want, I don't know, a blue island. Maybe I want a green island. Maybe I want to do something different. Maybe it could be all wood, different type of wood. Butcher block here, granite over there. It could, you want to do something that doesn't look so drab and the same. And so that's what I want to consider. And then make the bar top overhang on the back for chairs 3 or 4. New backsplash stone or tile. Remove a 5-foot sliding door. Install the 15 light entry door. And that'll probably be a little more energy efficient too. Having a little less glass. Will I lose view? Yes, I'll lose some view. But if this table's not here, we're not going to be looking there so much. And anytime the weather's good, we're out there anyway. New flooring, hardwood, tile, vinyl plank, haven't decided. The dishwasher we're going to replace. And then we're going to replace the ceiling with textured ceiling with either drywall or plank. So that's what is in the plan. And I think I've run over everything. Let me know in the comments if you stayed along this long with me, listen to this, and if you have any other ideas from what you see. The windows, we replaced them this year. They were wood pellet windows. Most of them in the house still performed okay, but the finish was getting bad. Some started clouding, and some that did cloud were actually starting to rot in between the panes, and I said they gotta go. So they're gone. This ceiling's bugged me for a long time. That's gotta go. And then if I'm gonna put recessed lights in, I gotta make so many holes in this ceiling to pull wires, and then put my circle lights in there that might as well pull it down instead of scraping it and then patching all them patches, because it's easier to do a long tape line than it is a whole bunch of little squares everywhere. And that's about it. That's about what I can think of right now. There's a fire extinguisher on the floor. Someone put it on the wall on a bracket right into drywall, no stud, and it didn't last. Boom, down it went. I'll get that back on the wall or put a white one up. And then I do like a carpet runner, so if you want to be barefooted in the kitchen. If we do a tile, I'll still want to do at least one carpet there. And the fridge, that works fine. That's all I can think of right now. And like I said, I'd have to copy it. And what these are individual boards put together to make doors. And so I think I can do that. The finish is usually the problem because that's probably a spray finish. I probably could get a spray finish on it too. But I got to get the stain color right. So half-hour talk. That's all this video is about, is the organization of our kitchen. We got the new year coming up here, and I just want to get started over the winter months of getting this done. I don't want to do it in warm weather. I want to get back outside. We got projects to do. We got more trees to take down. Woodpeckers got after a couple of them. They're getting dangerous. They got to come down. And we got more auto repairs to do and some more building projects. But this kitchen is our next one. Remember to throw a comment down there. Tell me what you would do, what I might be forgetting, some upgrades that somebody would like, something neutral. So thanks for following along in this series, and maybe the next time I see you, we'll be punching holes in walls here. Thanks again. See you soon.